Welcome back to my channel, everyone, and I welcome any new viewers to this channel. A quick reminder, my videos are just nuggets of information I want to put out there. You can take that nugget and do whatever you choose to do with it. The title of this video is The Prodigal Son and the Other Son, and the focus of the video will be on the other son. So let me get right into this video in order to keep it very short. The reading will be it is taken from Luke 15, verses 11 to 32. I didn't put all the verses in here because the focus, as I said earlier, is on the other son. So the reading is going to be picked up from verse 18 to 32 because that's where I want to speak about the other son. So let's go.
I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran, and fell on his neck, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet. And bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants, and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry, and would not go in. Therefore came his father out, and entreated him. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment. And yet thou never gave me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad. For this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
Okay, so I wanted to highlight the fact that whenever we hear the reading of the prodigal son and we focus on the one that was lost, and rightly so, but what I do find is many times when they talk about the other son, they tend to talk about the other son quite negatively, and I'm wondering if that is fair to that son. The reason is this is a parable, it's a story. Not sure if it's based on factual events or it's just a story to demonstrate or illustrate a point. However, when we look at the other son, the elder son, what we seem to not give him, what we seem to do is not give him any grace at all. We look very negative on him, but are we correct in doing that? Because when we think about ourselves as humans, put ourselves in the older son's shoes, how would we have felt? I'm pretty sure we would have similar feelings as this young man did. Because remember, he says he's been an obedient son, kept the commandments. The fact that he's holding up to the commandments tell me he's not a bad son. Very respectful to his father. But what really got to me in this whole narrative is the fact that the father, instead of calling his older son to rejoice along with everyone, this thing was happening behind the older son's back. Let's look at where it talks about he had in 25 says his elder son was in the field. They're rejoicing. This man is in the field, and he came near and heard music and dancing. So you get what I'm saying. He wasn't even invited to the party. Who among us would be okay with that? These are things I want to highlight to people when we're reading. Go in, go in and find those extra layers and nuances before we start to put negative and view a character in the Bible as really bad or anything like that. Who among us would be okay with that? That's one of the biggest questions I ask about this narrative. His reactions were very natural and quite human. And his father's response to him was beautiful. He says, "My son, everything is yours. Everything is yours." So, and he tried to explain to the son why, but that is still harsh for the son to know that I've been here. I've never had a chance to celebrate with my friends. It's like you take me for granted. I'm not as important to you as this one. So I'm just coming from that perspective in sort of a little defense for the older brother. Don't know how anybody else feel about that, but I kind of feel for that older brother because I'm thinking if that was me, I'd be upset. I would be upset as well. And like, Dad, what's going on? You never do anything like this for me. I understand this boy went away and come back, but couldn't you at least invited me to the party? Couldn't you invited me to the party? And then maybe we have a discussion about it before I hear this thing on the side, you know? So I'm coming to I just want to put that out there for anyone to just think about this when we hear the story again. Do have compassion for the older son. I'm going to leave this video right here. I thank you for watching.